Considering the state of the crime scene, there's just one possible answer. And that is the Talia Magica.
Objection!
What's this now? The Talia Magica was found at the crime scene. A portal had nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Inquisitor Barnum, you're making the wrong assumption. Oh jeez, the witch wasn't trying to remove evidence from the crime scene. She wanted to plant it. She threw the witch's scepter into the room through that portal.
Objection!
Man, has anybody figured out who the witch could be? It's difficult. It's difficult. You and your crazy theories, do you even realise what you're saying? If she threw stuff into the room, that means... Exactly. She did it to deceive us. Her goal was to make us draw the wrong conclusions. When the incident took place, the witch herself wasn't in the room. She cast a spell from outside. What? I was really shocked at these deductions that I figured out like half an hour ago. Order, I say! Boom! And that's not all. There's even more proof the staff was thrown into the room from the outside. But wait! There's more! That proof is none other than Professor Layton's previously severed right arm. Yeah, okay, yeah. So he's going to mention the fact that it was stood up on the floor. None of us have testified they saw the witness's scepter. However, a few of them claim to have heard it rattling across the floor. That's right. Please take a look at this floor plan. Since the arm was standing up right here, we know the defender could have been the one who dropped the scepter. And we're now completely ignoring the fact that we'd basically proven that the Talia Magica would drop first, and then the statue fell over. We're basically completely disregarding that with absolutely no reason. I don't know. That's the one line of this, the one logical line of this court case that's been a bit weird so far. The actual order of events. Where would you need to drop the scepter from in order for it to end up here? Me, please, I know. Judge, you're the judge. You don't get to answer questions. That's right, the scepter could only have come through the small portal created by the spell Godor. Godor. Go. It's most expected the witch wasn't in the room when the crime occurred. Or at least that's the defence's claim. It's the only thing that explains all the contradictions we've run into. So Blue Knight, with that imagination of yours, you could have aspired to write fantasy stories. A nice try, I must admit. However, this line of assertion is futile. There is a glaring contradiction in your words. What's this going to be? Yep, the Talia Magica. There's no green gem. And honestly, I'm not sure what the answer to this one's going to be. This is Talia Magica that was used in the incident. As we established, there are two magic gems in it. One for the gold transmutation spell, Goldor, and one for the Shadow Familiar spell, Unfamalia. A witch in possession of his staff would not have been able to cast Goldor. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't mention that. Yes, you're absolutely right. But you can't write off all the evidence supporting my theory of mere coincidence. Why was your agreement always followed by a but? Because you are a but. What I'm getting at is, this Talia Magica is not genuine. Not genuine? That's right, and naturally this one's the one responsible for this deception is the real culprit of the crime. Enough of suspense, it's too much for a man my age. The defense shall reveal what is meant by this so-called deception. This part of the scepter is a deception. Well, it's kind of just suddenly launched us into this. Is it going to be one of the gems? Did one of the gems get swapped out after casting the spell, but before throwing the Talia Magica through? I think that's very likely. Now, we know that Godor happened, but honestly, we've not really mentioned Unfamalia much at all. The only time we really mentioned Unfamalia was when we were talking about Layton facing Wright with his, with what we thought was a knife, but was actually his finger. See, now we know that he's actually pointing left, probably at the Godor, the portal thing. So I don't really think there was a familiar.
Got it.
Either way, I'm going to present. First, I want to clarify one thing. Go ahead, Phoenix. You clarify as much as you want. Can we be certain that the Taliamagica in question is authentic? Yes. Without doubt. The metal rod in this sensor is called a Spina Magica. The witch's mark on its tip is clearly visible and highly detailed. It is impossible to forge, even by the finest craftsmen in all Labyrinthia. I can guarantee you its authenticity. So who made it in the first place? Magic. That leaves us with one possibility. The forgery in question is the Unfamalia magic gem. There was never a familiar in the first place. Boom! That's an insult to our investigators.
Objection!
Well, the witches can use the power of these magic gems, can't they? So tell me, how can you know whether a magic gem is the real thing or not? Hold it there, we know for certain the spell Goldor was used. It is undoubtedly not forged. Yes, exactly. But what about Unfamalia? Did anyone actually see a familiar at this crime scene? Well, we did in the cutscene, right? The cutscene counts, right?
3 months ago, when an investigation was carried out into Sir Belgick's death, the results yielded the following conclusion. The spell Unfamalia had been used to summon a familiar, which in turn carried out the murder.
And the witch used exactly that to her advantage. Another similar instance of the same crime scene. Don't you think that would be a perfect opportunity for the witch to frame the defendant for her crimes? The defendant would be blamed for both the professor's and Sir Belgick's death, and she'd be taken for the real witch.
Oh! Oh!
Oh!
Oh!
That was the real culprit's objective. Yay! Courtroom-wide ellipses! Man, ellipses in Labyrinthia are contagious.
There is a chapter in the Magic Archive, an old collection of tales of the occult, about the way to test whether or not a magic gem is genuine.
That would be very helpful right about now. How can we test it? Get a witch, get them to hold the Taliamagica, and get them to try and turn something into gold and summon a familiar. That's the best way to test it.
A genuine magic gem is composed of a mineral with a density lower than that of pure water. All you need to do is see the magic gem floats on water.
That is simple indeed.
All non-magical minerals in our world, with the exception of sepiolite and a few other special kinds, sink in water. These eerily sparkling magic gems, however, will never sink when put into water. Bailiff, remove this magic gem for immediate examination.
The magic gem's a fake? What's up with this trial? It's not how it's supposed to be. This is not how it's supposed to be! I didn't ask for this. It's alright, darling, don't cry. You'll get to see a witch burning today. People in this town are sick. TSM, 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 Let's just get on with it.
Defender! If your theory is correct, this could be the biggest occult crime in history! But another important question remains. I wonder if you can answer it.
Who's the real witch? Yep.
Who is the supposed real witch that threw the Taliamagica through the portal?
The real witch. There's only one person that comes to mind. Frankly, I still find it hard to believe, but it's the only possibility. Once I indict her, there'll be no turning back. Miss Primstone! Knowing the consequences, should I give them her name? It was a speller the whole time! She escaped from prison. Yes. In Labyrinthia, witches are punished by fire. I know you think that's going too far. But even in a world that seems so insane to you, those who take the lives of others must be punished. That's universal law, isn't it? The witch turned the professor into a gold statue, and that's not all. She took the life of the alchemist too, and now she's trying to pin the whole thing on Maya. I just can't let her get away with that. We've still not talked about the Night of the Storm, where like a random bell tower just happened to appear. I'm sure that's going to be addressed in the second part of this trial.
Well then, defense, let's hear your theory. Who is this witch responsible for using Godor and then throwing the scepter through the resulting portal?
It was Luke Triton! Okay, no, wait, it wasn't, calm down, okay. No, it was obviously Miss Brimstone, except it wasn't because it was Jean Grail, who is very much not male.
Take that!
When you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, so every problem must be true. There's only one logical possibility, it has to be that person. Alright, Sherlock. Let's go. The real witch is Jean Grail.
Oh, Grail? I've heard that name somewhere. Is that the butler who serves Sir Belduke?
That's correct. Huh, what's this about? You seem to love rolling out these ridiculous suggestions, but you ignore the obvious. Jean Grail is male. Really? Have you heard her speak? Have you heard her speak? Really no, though. In Quincy Barnes, only one thing. There's only females who can be witches. Are you daft? Of course only females. Males would be called wizards, obviously.
Never in the history of this court has there ever been a male witch.
You're so utterly ignorant. You should be ashamed of yourself. Alright, well, I'd like to ask another question. Is Jean Grail really a male? Have you ever heard her speak? What? What a ludicrous question. The defense is certain that Jean Grail is the witch responsible for using magic on Professor Layton. Victory music. Will you stop fooling around? This is a groundless accusation.
Objection!
Objection! Feel her boobs! Groundless, you say? I'm afraid that's where you're wrong. At the time of the crime, Jean Grail was in the room next to the alchemist study. And one of the walls in that very room was painted green.
It was?
What's more, that green wall was the one adjacent to the Belgian study. Shock horror! This is madness! Have we proven everything yet?
Inquisitor Barnum, quickly, have the butler summons the court. Have Jean Grail brought here immediately.
Certainly, my lord, it shall be done. Is this going to be the end of part 1?
There is no need for that.
Is that Grail's voice? Because honestly... Yeah, it is.
I am here. I shall come down right away.
I can't do it. I can't associate that voice with male. I can't do it.
Ah, it's you.
Well then, Mr. Wright. Shall we begin?
Yeah, go on then. Jean Grail.
It would seem this trial has turned in a new direction. I think we all need a bit of time to take it in. We shall take a brief intermission. Inquisition, defense, sharpen your swords, and wisdom to prepare yourselves for this next stage of this battle.
So that's going to be the end of part 1. Yes, Your Honour. It shall be done, my lord.
By the time we resume the examination, the magic gem should have ended as well.
The examination into the magic gem. You're chucking them both in a bucket of water. It's not much of an examination. It should have been done like hours ago.
Now the court is adjourned for brief intermission.
To be continued, and that is the end of part 1 of the Golden Court. I think that's what this chapter's called anyway. Man! Alright, so there's quite a few things that we've not really mentioned. We've got the Night of the Storm to mention. We need to do more looking into, I think, the incident of 3 months ago. However, I think that the incident from the present day has pretty much been wrapped up. In terms of, it could only really have been someone in the butler's room that did it. And now it's a case of just proving that Grail was in there and then doing proving a bunch of stuff of the case 3 months ago or whatever. So we'll have to figure out more stuff about that. As it is, however, I'm Mindez. This has been Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And I shall see you next time for the conclusion of the Witch's Court. See you next time, folks.
Hidden puzzle! Sound the klaxon! The hidden puzzle warning lights must be turned on! This is the first time in the entire game that thing's not been 0. Sound the klaxons!